One of the surprising aspects of my sabbatical last year was an exploration into Jewish meditation. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a man of words, of many, many words. So finding space, especially on Shabbat, to slow down, to go beyond words, was a truly fascinating religious experience for me. Since that sabbatical, we've held a number of reflective and meditative services. And tonight's service is another one of those services. It's a very different feel service. There's no musical accompaniment. It's just myself leading the service. And while we pray some of the traditional liturgy, we add readings, reflections, meditation, and we create space. Space between the prayers, space between words, to help us encounter God. And particularly also to encounter ourselves. I'm in our library, our newly revamped library, which really is an extraordinary library. Many of our members have been used over the years to our library being upstairs, but since it's been moved down here, since it's been catalogued and sorted, it is just an extraordinary library. And the reason that I mention that, firstly, is to invite you to come and to enjoy this library. During the summer, the library is open on Wednesdays for taking books out between 10 and noon. But it's available as a reading room throughout the week when the office is open. And we really encourage you to just come in and sit and be surrounded by the books, pull a book off the shelf and come and read. I mention particularly the library, and I'm in the library particularly today because I want to show how wonderful it is, in the sense that it's going to be feeding our reflective and meditative service tonight. For example, the book Jewish Meditation by Aryeh Kaplan is a really wonderful, simple, accessible book, which is written by a real master of meditation who wrote an extraordinary book on Sefer Yetzirah, which we're going to be studying later on in the year. He talks about what is meditation and why would we meditate, and then he shares techniques for meditation before addressing differing states of consciousness, looking at what is specifically Jewish meditation, and then looking at some more esoteric concepts such as nothingness, and what does it mean to encounter nothingness. This book, which is going to be used to help our reflective and meditative service, is in our library, and I recommend that you come and have a look at it. Similarly, Kaplan also wrote a book called Meditation and Kabbalah. This is similar to his book on Sefer Yetzirah. It's more academic. It talks about particularly different Kabbalists like the Ari. It talks about different schools of Kabbalah. When people say, is this Kabbalah? Maybe part of the answer is, it depends which school you're talking about, because there were many different schools of Kabbalah, of Jewish mysticism as well. He talks about, as I said, he goes all the way back, in fact, to Talmudic mystics, and how this is not just some medieval thing that arose, but meditation has been part of Jewish custom for thousands of years, in fact. And sometimes this book gets rather technical, sometimes it gets it particularly focuses on the numerical value of the letters of the prayers and the different combinations of the letters, which is similar to his book Sefer Yetzirah. It's more academic, but it's a fascinating read. And again, it's in our library. It's available for you to come and borrow. And another book that relates to the meditative and reflective service this evening is The Way of Flame by Avram Davis. This is a guide to the forgotten mystical tradition of Jewish meditation. And we really are trying to bring that back into our community as I explore it more and as we together explore meditation, reflection together. This book talks about how to get our bearings and starts teaching some basic concepts. Looks at the four qualities of consciousness before recognizing obstacles to meditation, and so on. So this book as well, The Way of Flame by Avram Davis, this is in our library. And I encourage you, especially if you are interested in meditation and spirituality and reflection, I invite you to come and have a look at that section. There are so many other sections in our library: history, geography, halakha, midrash. There is so much here. It's an extraordinary treasure of our community that our community hasn't really been used to coming into our library. So I really do encourage you, if you find yourself with some time during the week, just come in. Even before Shabbat, just come in and sit, look around the books and see what there is. Particularly for this evening, I encourage you to join us. I encourage you to look at these three books in particular: The Way of Flame by Avram Davis, Meditation and Kabbalah by Aryeh Kaplan, and Jewish Meditation: A Practical Guide by Aryeh Kaplan. I'm happy to recommend many other books as well, but I'm just going to start there with those. Tonight, therefore, I invite you to join us for our reflective and meditative service as well, as we pray our traditional liturgy and create space, find silence, and find ourselves and God in the words of our prayers and between the words of our prayers as well. And I wish you Shabbat Shalom.